16 different public debt, 18 different interest rates to deal with. And, I think a single currency with 18 different public debt and 18 different interest rates cannot work in the long run. And, when you travel in the rest of the world, this is really obvious to everybody. When you go to the US, if the Federal Reserve Bank in the US had to choose every morning between the public debt of California, the public debt of Texas, of New York, with different interest rates, it would be a big mess. And this is the monster that we have created in Europe. So, now we cannot devalue our currency anymore, which of course would have been the way to get more competitiveness for the economy in Spain or Italy, in Greece. And, this is what Poland outside the Eurozone did. They let their currency devalue a lot, and, they had a much better time than you did in Spain. So, when you don't have the possibility to devalue your currency anymore, at least you must gain access to a public debt with a low interest rate, which is sort of guaranteed by the countries together that have this common currency. And so I think if we want to restore confidence in the Eurozone, we need to have a new European treaty for the countries that are in the Eurozone in order to be able to put together our public debt, which doesn't mean reimbursing the public debt of others. We will keep separate accounts because countries that enter with different levels of public debt, they cannot get them reimbursed by others. But what this will allow us to do is to share our interest rate. I think France and Germany have been very selfish in 2011, 2012. Basically, they decided that we have a very low interest rate and that we will not share it with Spain and Italy. And, this is, they decided that this was an act of divine justice, if Spain or Italy have to pay 5% or 6% interest rate. But of course, this has nothing to do with divine justice. When you have such a big interest rate gap, and even today, the interest rate gap, people say this is over, now this is finished. But I think even a 2 or 3% interest rate gap within a Eurozone is a very strange situation, because this means that over a 10-year period, financial market expects that there is a 20 or 30% probability that some countries are going to exit the system. So this is not at all a good situation. And this is, and as long as we are not able to be convincing that we want to stay together in the Eurozone, I think there will be this lack of confidence will continue, and the stagnation will continue. So, the good news is that it is possible to change European treaties. We always say it's not possible. Well, except that in 2012, we changed the European treaties in 6 months. The discussion started at the end of 2011, and it was finished even before the French presidential election. Everything was already finished. And then Hollande sort of tried to pretend that he renegotiated something, but everybody knows that he did not renegotiate anything, and that the new government in France just ratified the treaty negotiated by the previous government. And I think this is also the reason why in France we have the political parties have a hard time to recognize their mistake, because this is a joint mistake. Both political parties thought that this new budgetary treaty will solve the problem of the Eurozone, but it did not. So I think now we need to recognize the mistake. It was made by many different governments. Certainly the Spanish government contributed to the mistake, but the French government, it's not, we cannot just blame Germany, this is too simple. And what we need to have, I think, so I have heard that, there is a lot of, dynamism and imagination with political parties in Spain, and there is now a new political party that is doing very well in the polls. In France, we also have new political parties that are doing very well, and which I think are much more dangerous than the new political parties in Spain. So, I think, it's better to have a political shock at the left of the left than a political shock at the right of the right. And in France, we will have regional elections in December of this year, and it is quite possible that a couple of regions will be won by the National Front, and I think this will be a disaster and a very terrible shock. And so, as compared to this kind of political shock, I think the big difference is that Podemos and Syriza are internationalist parties, they are pro-European parties, and I think that instead of being afraid of them, people in Brussels and Paris and Berlin will be well inspired to try to prepare themselves to talk to them and to try to build together better solutions for Europe. So I think it's important that all political parties, on the right or on the left, or new political parties or already existing political parties, make proposal to change the European Treaty so that we have a more democratic governance of Europe. As I said many times, with the current institution, it's impossible to have more fiscal cooperation. And I am convinced that if Spain, together with Italy and France, were to propose Germany to have a Eurozone parliament where each country will be represented in proportion to its population, and that this will be the place where we will take majority decision-making for the level of the public deficit, the level of public investment, corporate taxation, I think we would have taken much better decision in recent years with such a democratic decision-making process. I think we would have had less austerity, more growth, less unemployment. And I think it's still possible to do that for the future. I think the current system of negotiation between national government and the European Commission is not working and will never work. And I think if we were making this proposal to Germany, probably Germany would be afraid to be put in a minority in such a parliament by Italy, Spain, and France, and to have levels of deficits that are too high as compared to the German views. But at the same time, I don't think you cannot say no to everything. So I think at some point, Germany would have to accept such a proposal. Now, the problem is that for the time being, there's no such proposal on the table. And so I think it is the responsibility of everyone in every political party, including Podemos, but including the Popular Party, including every party in France or in Italy, to make proposal. It's not enough just to blame Germany. It's very easy in France, it is a national sport to blame Germany for everything. But, I think France has a big responsibility in the situation, as big as Germany. And we have to make proposal to change the rules of the game if we want to have a more pro-growth policy. So sorry if I did not answer everything, but I guess this is already too long.
Bien, pues vamos, yo todavía quería decirle al... Quería decirle al profesor, darle las gracias por todo lo que nos ha ilustrado esta mañana y dejarle ahí la duda, ¿seremos entre todos capaces de salvar el capitalismo, de evitar que entre en la ineficiencia porque abandone la idea del mérito y se produzca un crecimiento exponencial de la desigualdad y de la acumulación en muy pocas manos de mucha riqueza, y que eso nos lleve a dificultar el funcionamiento de este sistema que tanto queremos? Queridos amigos, muchísimas gracias y muchas felicitaciones al profesor y mucho éxito para su libro y nuestro entusiasmo porque haya cambiado la conversación. Gracias.